Hello students, welcome to grammar class. Today we are going to study lesson 14, verbs singular and plurals. So children, here in this lesson we are going to study about according to the subject, if the subject is singular or if the subject is plural, which kind of verb you have to use. That is what we are going to study in this topic. Okay, here just see, subject is singular. If the subject is singular, you have to use a singular verb. Now, what do you mean by a singular verb? A singular verb means a verb with the word s. You should not confuse it. The verb with the word yes, the letter s is called a singular verb. Cry. What is the singular verb? Cries. Cries is the singular verb. Play. Plays. Plays is the singular verb. So here, first example you see, cow eats grass. Cow eats grass. So here see, the subject is cow, singular. Singular means only one, is it? Cow means it's only one cow. So the verb should use a singular form of the verb. That means you see the word s, eats. So if the subject is singular, the verb should take s form, eats. Eats grass. Okay, so you have to be very careful when you study this lesson, because if the cow is singular, that means if the subject is singular, the verb should be also singular. Singular means, but here the verb should have one s letter at the end. Eats grass. Now, my brother plays cricket. Why I used plays here? Because my brother is singular. If my brother, the subject is singular, you have to use plays as the verb. You have to add one s with the verb. This is the singular form of the verb. Sings, plays, cooks. You can see one s at the end. S or es, some verbs will have that forms also. Okay, so what is the first rule that we study? The first rule that we studied is, if the subject is singular, the verb will be also singular. Verb will be also singular means the verbs will have s at the end. Now, the dog barks loudly. Barks. The word barks. You see one s after the verb? Barks. That is the verb. The car moves. You see moves, moves. Why I used moves here? Why I cannot use move? Because here the subject, the car, is singular. So I used one s with the verb, the singular form of the verb, moves at a high speed. The boy plays with a ball. Why I use the word plays here? Plays. Because the boy is singular. So I used singular form of the verb, that is verb with s, play, plays, plays. Okay, so this is the first rule of verbs singular and plurals. Now, if the subject is plural, how you can write? Let's see the other example. The cows eat grass. You see here the word the cows, plural is said, plural. Plural means what? More than one. That is plural. So, the cows eat. I am using plural verb eat. I am not adding any s. Why? Because here it is plural. The starting, the subject is plural. So, you have to use the plural form of the verb, that is eat. You do not have to add any s since the subject is plural. Now here the dogs bark loudly. Why? The dog is plural, so bark is the plural form of the verb and loudly. So always remember, if the subject is singular, you have to use singular verb. Singular verb, always remember, singular verb means verb with S. Cries, plays, dances, all these are singular verbs. And if the subject is plural, you have to use plural verb. Plural verb means verb without S forms. Bark loudly. Okay. Now coming to you, the word you have to always use plural verbs. Very casually, without teaching or without recalling any rules. You are playing. Will you say you is playing? No, that is wrong, is it? You are playing. So, you are late. Here you are or is an excellent player. Which one you will write? You are an excellent player. So, always with you we use what form of the verb? Plural form of the verb. You eat food. Is it? You will not say you eats food. That is wrong. You eat, because eat is plural form of the verb, and you, the word you have to always put it in your mind. The word you should be used with plural verbs. Okay. Now coming to the next. And. How to use and? If two nouns are joined with the word and, you have to use a plural verb. See the example. Green and red are my favorite colors. Green and red are. It's not correct to say is it? The green and red are my favorite color. So here I have used plural form of the verb. So if two subjects are joined with the word and, you have to use a plural verb are. Now sugar and fresh cream are needed for the recipe. I am joining two words, is it? Sugar and fresh cream. So when I am joining two subjects with and, I should always use a plural form of the verb. Now the next one, collective nouns. We have already studied collective nouns in your lower classes, is it? A flight of birds, a fleet of ships, a bouquet of flowers, an army of soldiers, all these are examples of collective nouns. And collective nouns, when you are speaking it as a collection, it always acts as a singular subject. So you have to use a singular form of the verb. Here you see the team. The team means it's not one person, is it? The team is a collective noun. The team means it consists of lot of players. So here the team is hard working. That means the whole members. So you speak it as a singular subject. It's a single unit. Then the crew is moving to the east. The crew means what? Sailors. The crew is a collective noun. It's not one person. It consists of many sailors. So here the crew, when it is spoken as a collection or as a collective noun, it's the rule is you have to use what? A singular verb. Okay. So collective nouns will always take a singular verb. Now coming to the next one. See the baby, in the textbook it is written, I am not taking all things together, but I'll just take three examples so that it is clear for you. The baby drinks milk. Children, you see the baby, that is singular, one. So here I am adding S with the verb drinks. But the same thing you change that to plural, the babies. The babies drink milk. There I am using the form drink because the babies are what? It's a plural subject. So I am using drink as the plural verb. Now the tailor stitches clothes. Why I use stitches here? Because the tailor is singular. Okay, now the same example I am making it plural. The tailors stitch. There I should only use the word stitch because the tailors, that word or that subject is plural. So I should use plural form of the verb. And the artist paints. The artist is singular, one person. So I am using singular form of the verb with S, paints. Paints with colors. The same thing, the artists, plural. The subject is plural, paint. I am using the verb paint with water colors. Okay, now the next topic. Singular. For all these subjects, what all verb forms you are using? That is what we are going to study. I, you, he, she, it. Which all verbs you can use? With I, you can use am and was. Example, how you to use am? I am happy. Then how to use was? I was sleeping. Okay, then here you. You, with you, which all verbs you can use? Are, were. Okay, then how will you write? You are playing, you were playing. Then he. He is and was. These two verbs you can use with he. He is reading, he was reading. Then she. She is dancing, she was dancing. It. It is shining, it was shining. So here, these are something which you already know, is it? For singular, which verb you know, you should use is or are or was or were. It's already something that you know. But when you study as rules, you have to focus this. Okay, now coming to the exercise. Coming to the exercise, fill in the blanks with is, am, was or were. Is, am, are, is, are or am. Exercise A, the first one, I dash Vani Sharma. Which one you can use? Is, are, am. Which one you can use? I am Vani Sharma. There you can use the verb am. Okay, the rest is very simple. You can do it. Then fill in the blanks with was or were. My grandfather dash an army officer. Which one you use? Was or were? My grandfather is singular, one person, is it? If it is singular, you have to use was. My grandfather was an army officer. Okay, now the next topic, have and has. This often when you speak, also you will have confusion, have or has, which should I use for talking. So listen here, for I, we, you, they and all plurals you can use have. I have made it more simple. From the textbook I have taken only the main points so that it is easy for you. For I, we, you, they and all plurals you have to use have. This you have to by heart. I, we, you, they, all plurals you have to use have. Okay. Example, see, I have a book. We have a car. You have a pen. They have good friends. The houses have many doors. So all this example, make it a point that for all this example, you can see that the words I, we, you, they and all plurals are using the word have, only have. Okay, now the next one, has. With which all words or which all pronouns you are supposed to use has? Listen here, he, she, it and all singular you have to use has. He, she, it and all singular. Singular means one thing. You can use has. Example, he has a football. She has drawn a picture. It has a red handle. The boy has gone out. So, you see the example of each pronoun which I have written here, he, she, it and singular will use has. So, what would we study? I, we, you, they and all plurals will use have, and he, she, it, all the singulars we can use has. Now, take your textbook. You have one exercise. Fill in the blanks with has or have. Sonali dash a new laptop. So, Sonali is a singular one, singular subject, one girl. Okay. So, for singular what do you have to use? Has. So, the answer is Sonali has a new laptop. Okay children, now coming to the next topic, do and does. When to use do, when to use does. Listen, for I, we, you, they, you should use do. Just the same thing that we studied with has and have. I, we, you, they. For I, we, you, they and all plurals also you have to use do. See the example, I do exercise daily. We do the homework on time. You do your duty. They do the cleaning work. So, for all these pronouns and also plurals. Okay, for example, the cars do not move fast. The cars, C-A-R-S, cars. That is plural subject. Do not move fast. So, here for I, we, you, they, you have, and all plurals you should use do. Always remember. And the next one is does. For he, she, it and all singular you have to use does. Example, he does a lot of work. She does the cooking every day. It does not work properly. This cat does not walk. So, for he, she, it and singular you can use does. So, coming to the exercises in the textbook. Rewrite the sentences in the plural form. She is very attentive in the class. That you have to use. That you have to use in plural form. She is very attentive in the class. You can change that to plural. How will you write? They are very attentive in the class. And the last exercises, match the following. Make sure that the subject and verb matches. So, Monali, first one I will tell you, Monali performs at cultural event. So, let us recall what we have studied. We have studied that verbs can be taken according to singular and plurals, is it? For singular subject you use a singular verb. Singular verb means verb with S. For plurals you can use plural form of the verb, that is verb without S. Then what did we study? And. If two subjects are joined with and, what you are supposed to use? If two subjects are joined with and, you have to use a plural form of the verb. Then the next one, collective nouns. Collective nouns will always take a singular form of the verb. Since it is speaking as a collection, it performs the duty of a singular subject. So, you have to use a singular form of the verb. Then, the next thing that we studied, how to change singular and plural, what all changes that happens in the form of the verb. This is already there in the textbook. Then, the next one is I, you, he, she and it, which all verb forms are used. Is and was, then are and were, am and was is used with I, then for you, are and where. This is something which you already know. This is very easy. Okay. Then the next one is has and have. For I, we, you, they and all plurals, you are supposed to use the verb have, and for he, she, it and all singulars, you can use has. Then do and does. Do and does. For I, we, you, they and all plurals, you have to use do, and for he, she, it and all singular, you have to use does. So, I hope the portion is clear. We will discuss all the answers of the rest of the exercises in the Google Meet. Thank you.